Stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned. I am here with the coach, John Brent.
And I'm back from Mexico here with the vet, Mr. Ian Griffin.
Man, it's a beautiful day. Coach.
See my tan?
Man, hold on. I got to cover up because I'm pale.
I don't know if I still have the same amount of abs I had before I go because that food down there was good.
Man, you have a good time?
I ate everything I could, plus.
Awesome, bro.
Drank a little, too. Drank a little, what do they call this thing? Virgin pina coladas, that's what it was.
Virgin pina colada.
No, that's a lie. I drank pina coladas, too.
I like a pina colada, too.
Mostly I just drank
coladas.
Jameson on ice, but that's just me.
So we're going to talk about some hypocrisy today. We're going to talk about, I heard some people put these memes that ain't got no clue about economics. And I even know one of them that claims that they're a finance person, but I laugh at that, to be honest, after having some experience.
Well, there are progressive economists, but
I guess.
They're called socialists.
So I've seen some people say that the POTUS, in his debilitated state, I guess, number 46 is not responsible at all for the price of oil going up. That's all oil companies' problem because they make profits, because they saved all the gas for 2 years while we was on COVID.
You mean the buck stops with me guy?
Yeah, the buck doesn't stop with me because my angels come in and defend me in my ludicrousy.
Thank God for his administration, I'll be honest.
So how in the hell, Coach, the man who comes out and tells the oil companies you can no longer drill here, that tells the oil companies straight to their face that I am going to take the oil industry down and turn it into green industry, did it on the debate stage. Yeah. How in the hell is he not responsible for the price of oil going up that happened as soon as after he took office? How is he not responsible for that when stock markets, apparently somebody might be a finance major but don't know a goddamn hill of beans about the stock market or supply and demand and how that works when they have to go and find other sources of petrol that require shipping demands as well.
Well,
how is he not responsible for that?
Well, he is, because there's a difference between being a politician and being a president. And from day one, when you say, you don't know anything about the markets, but when you say, I'm going to sign an executive order that there's no more Keystone, there's no more this, there's no more that, and it has to do with oil and gas. Markets are based on stability. And when you hear things, why when you hear things does the market go up one day and down another? Because it's all about future. So everybody starts thinking, wait a minute, he's talking about this, he's closing these places, he's signing these executive orders, he's talking about green, and then oil starts going up and gas starts going up. This is way before Putin even pissed over into the Ukraine. And we got gas prices doing this and doing this. And then what really does hurt gas prices historically is when there's an issue in the Middle East, there's a war, and there's problems. Okay, so you already got gas doing this, and then there's a war in the Ukraine happens, and it goes like this, and you say, wait a minute, the oil and gas prices are all Putin's problem.
Yeah. So
there's so many stupid people, ignorant people that don't understand because of politics that it's okay to blame somebody when they do it. It's like this. If your kid breaks into the neighbor's house and steals their guns and he's with a friend and you blame it all on the friend, none on your son that went in with him because that's your son, because you don't want to admit that there's a problem in your own house.
Yeah.
Joe Biden doesn't want to admit that the problem in our own house has to do with Daddy Joe Biden.
So I'm going to say this, Coach. The previous president declared war on three things.
Tell me.
The press, the FBI, and the swamp, the political people there.
Correct.
Every one of them gave him hell all the way through the end. Joe Biden declared war on the oil industry.
Thank you.
The previous president didn't survive that. They got 2 impeachments because of who he declared war upon. Right. This president here thinks the oil industry is going to embrace him and not go, hey, we're a money-making organization. We have 95,000 employees in this one. We have 65,000 in this one. We got 85,000 in this one. And we have all these other satellite industries that facilitate to us that once the president of the United States comes out and says that I'm shutting it all down, Do you think they're not going to go somewhere else to be lucrative, and it's going to drive the price up because they have to ship it further than they did before?
And we're going to be begging OPEC in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. Well,
Second
we had energy independence,
Right.
where we had leverage across the entire globe and low gas prices, and we gave that up. So one guy can make sure that we want to have the desire to get green energy.
He doesn't understand economics at all.
No.
When you have inflation going through the roof, which is going to be, everybody said it because of COVID and the shutdown and the supply chain issues, that inflation is going to rise.
Yeah.
Well, where inflation hurts the most is people out here working like us, because then my meat costs 10% more, my everything costs 10% more. So what you don't need is any other thing in the economy going haywire. So if you just be Joe Biden and from day one sign your crazy orders about all these things, but then you start seeing the inflation start happening, and you hear that there's rumblings going on that Putin, which we knew for months, we talked about it.
Yeah.
Putin's going to go over there sometime next year. Yeah.
I called it.
Then what you do is you sign a temporary, if you don't want to go against your base and your Green New Deal people, you sign an executive order that's temporarily for the next 6 months. You take all regulations back off, and that way we keep our gas prices and oil prices down while we have this inflation problem. Then when inflation starts coming back down and you want to go back into your shit, I hate to say it, then you can take away that temporary thing and bring your Green Deal. But you don't help yourself, you don't help the country, you don't help the people on the ground. When I'm paying $4.39 for gas out here, when I could be paying $3 for gas right now because you just signed something temporarily to help, and you just tell your base, look, it's just temporarily, but we've got to do this to help the poor American people that you say you wanted to help when you got elected.
Even the energy guy, the green energy guy, Elon Musk, says you need to freaking fix that crap.
And the last thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to leave it to you because I know this is a quick one, is you hear about these 9,000 wells that we have, or permits. Okay, let me put this perspective. I thought about it the other day. That's like saying I have 9,000 holes that used to have water in them. So I have a problem with my fish community. So I'm going to say that I can put 9,000 ponds full of fish, but there's only water in 500 of those ponds. So I'm going to come out and say, well, we could have this fish problem fixed immediately if these people in the fish community would just fill up all those ponds with those leases that we have, and there's no damn water in them anymore.
Coach, but let me say this. The wells, the 9,000 that he turned on for a little while, he turned on, but they still had to request a drill.
Sure.
They still had to get approved.
And some of them didn't have oil.
He had to, and so the ones, every dry hole is a minimum of $12 million. Minimum of $12
Who's paying
million.
the $12 million?
$12 million for every dry hole done. But it's an illusion because he says, I got all these permits, but he hasn't allowed the request for them to drill to be approved.
Sure.
So it's a lie.
So that's the answer from the left as well.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to, you could do it, but your oil company's trying to make all this money. They don't want to do it.
Yeah.
They want the high, so the billionaires become more billionaires.
So a businessman
People believe
is
that.
in business to make money. Yes. And when you put regulations out there that deter it, it will go find other places to make money, and it will drive up the price. Everybody's griping because the oil companies drive up the price, but when they're shipping it from further away, when they're having to get oil from other
They
places.
just expect them to do it for free.
Yeah, I guess they were supposed to just
That's
take
called
that.
communism,
Hold
right?
on, take it on the chin.
Right.
Boom, take it on the chin. So this is what I see. You know when you build a bonfire, you build the bonfire, you put all the wood, you put all the sticks out there, and you put all the leaves, you clear the area around there, and then you go out there and you pour fuel on it, and you make a trail so you can light it.
Right.
Well, as you're pouring fuel on it, you already made the trail up to it. His dumb ass is right behind you with a match, and he lit the damn thing. That's what happened. It ain't no other way to say it. That is what happened. He is a 2-year-old that don't know what the match does, and he lit the damn thing, and he set the whole damn thing on fire.
There's one thing that our politicians, our athletes, and our entertainment people should just learn, and some have. We are a very forgiving people. When we are told that, look, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done that. If I had it to do over again, I wouldn't do it the same way because I don't want this to happen. It could be Will Smith. It could be an athlete. It can be a musician. It can even be a politician. There are politicians that have done some bad things that apologized, got out of it for a while, got back in it, and they use their apology as they look, I'm just a normal person like you. I make mistakes. But what Joe Biden has not done from day one, he said he's going to unify and tell the truth. He hadn't unified. He ain't even unified his own White House.
He can't unify. Yeah, he can't unify that.
No, and number two is he has not taken responsibility for anything that he's done wrong.
So I think she was the energy or economic secretary. She says, "Hey, I underestimated this. I underestimated this."
Then that's fine.
And the White House comes out and says, "No, his policies are perfect for helping them."
I wish for once, and I don't care if it's Trump, I don't care if it's Biden, I don't care if it's the next president. I would just love, because Trump was no better with this,
no,
okay?
He wasn't.
If I make a mistake, I'm not going to admit to it. But I would love to say a politician come out and say, you know what? Look, Bill Clinton got a blowjob in the White House. Nobody's mad that Bill Clinton got a blowjob in the White House and he dipped a cigar in the nice juice. I don't care. He got in trouble for what? Lying to Congress. But what did he do? He came out and apologized later. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't like Hillary Clinton at all. But one of the things that I do applaud Bill Clinton for two things. Number one, he worked with the other side more than most presidents do that are Democrat, okay? And number two is he literally came out and said, look, man, y'all got me. And I am sorry, and I apologize. Mm-hmm. President Trump didn't apologize for nothing, and Joe Biden is not apologizing. What happened to these people? What happened to us not wanting to apologize?
I'm just going to say this. I agree, but he's too stubborn, and that was told to us before he got elected that he was too stubborn. Yeah. He stick to his ways, and he doesn't listen to people who advise him. One. Two, if anybody out there believes that he is not responsible, and he is the only president that has fell on that sword that has done this, that he is not responsible for the oil industry the prices going up. If he is not responsible for that, I got a lot of fucking oceanfront property on the moon to sell your ass. Just come on down and I will sell it to you because you are naive, dumb, and stupid all rolled in one.
We're almost done. Last thing I'm going to say is you're a coach. And if you're a coach of a football team that loses, and you have talent on that team, and you have the same amount of 100 by 50 as every other team, and you keep losing, who gets fired? The coach does. Who is responsible ultimately for the success of that team is the coach. The quarterback will always get beat up on Monday, but who gets fired usually on Tuesday is the coach because quarterbacks don't get fired normally. Yep. But coaches do. And the reason that coaches go from one team to the next team, and they'll go on and on and on. Look at the Super Bowl champion for the Chiefs. Look at Andy Reid. He was fired. Mm-hmm. But you know what he did when he got fired? He took responsibility for not handling Donovan. The coaches that do well and continue on coaching, Vet, take responsibility, wish that had done, and learn from it and come back and do things. But you got a 46-year politician that has never done anything but blame. And he even lied about all these things growing up, lied about his class, and he even had to pull out. And the American people forgave him because you know why? At that point in time, he asked for forgiveness. He said, I shouldn't have said those things. And now he's the president of the United States. You said it. There's a difference between a politician and being a president. You've got to act different. Yep. He still act like a politician.
He is still he is a party leader. Anyway, moving along, you can go ahead and thank your gas prices for being jacked the flip-flop up.
It's only going to get higher.
Only because of 46. Oh, yeah, the Putin thing,
Can't
well,
go to
maybe if he'd handled
again.
Putin a little bit better, it wouldn't have happened to begin with. Just throwing it out there, but he doesn't know foreign policy, as I've said more and more and more. Moving along, it's time for us to get the flock out of Dodge. And the coach.
To the vet. I got to go get some money from my gas, man.
Stay tuned.
Pawn shop.